Hi everyone, it's Rax showing you a GR135 I threw down the other day for the end of the season solo push. To be honest with you, I wish I would have opened a higher key for this rift, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll be able to show you exactly how this build works and the major struggles that this build has on the boss. So we start with a Ghostbuster sand map. This is not bad at all. But we just need to get some trash and get out of here. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to kill any elites. So what I'm doing is I use my golem to gather everything up. And then when my poison cycle comes through in my convention of the elements, which you see it rotating right now just above my bone armor. So when that turns green, that's when I deal all of my damage. So when it turns green, I stun them with my bone armor dislocation, and then I start death novaing and poison, and as long as there are a lot of monsters around me, I get a huge damage multiplier from cubing the Blood Tide blade. The problem is if I don't have any density, I can't do any damage, which makes the Guardian a huge problem. So what has to happen is I have to have a Pylon at the end for the boss, and I'm wearing Nemesis bracers. And I have to nem an elite to help me have extra adds to kill the boss at the end. What I'm praying for is that the elite will be Horde and Illusionist. Horde means they have more minions is more damage, and Illusionist means that they will illusion, they'll create copies of themselves, which of course, again, is just more minions. So it's not enough to have an outrageous gigantic lead. I also must have a Pylon, preferably power, and even that sometimes is not enough. Then I also need the Nemmed Elite to be an Illusionist. Those are the layers of RNG that I'm looking for here. And unless there's a big, huge, gigantic map like a Festering Woods, I don't have much of a chance to kill any elites. So you can see I'm just killing the trash and moving on. Festering Woods one time. It's a Festering with Transformers. So this is like the best that you can get in the entire game, and you're about to see why. Watch as I start to clear this trash in this map. Just be aware of my purple bar on the right, the progress bar. You're going to see why this is the best mob type in the game. So I'm moving them forward here. I'm hoping that it's a four-corner Festering. I'm hoping that we can get a lot of Pylons. I'm hoping we can get a conduit. That's what we're praying for. So we come to a spot. I'm cursing everything so I can stay alive. When poison comes around, I stun, and I cast my Death Nova, and everything dies. By the way, I do have a guide for this build on my YouTube, but there are much better options next season. I'm going to release an LOD Poison Scythe build, and that's going to be the dream. Now, something very special is happening here. We have what a lot of people call a bugged pack. I don't know if the proper term is bugged, but this is one of the best things in the game. That yellow elite, the minions of that yellow, are enslaved nightmares, and they're illusionist enslaved nightmares. So what they will do is they will illusion, and the illusioned enslaved nightmares can infinitely summon more adds. They can keep summoning the big Perendis, they can keep summoning chickens. So if I was a little bit smarter, I probably just would have stayed there and could have just honestly finished the rift right there, as long as the enslaved nightmares didn't die. Do you see how there's a giant Perendi magically in the middle of my pack, and do you see how there's chickens everywhere? Those enslaved nightmares are feeding me. It's the dream. This is the dream. So you can see my progress bar went from, at the start so far, to just barely ahead, to we're getting close to double the bar. And I haven't killed a single elite. All I've done is kill trash. This is why Transformers are by far the best. The problem with Enslaved Nightmares is they put debuffs on me, which hurt me very badly. And so I need to make sure that I stay alive. Now all of a sudden we're double the bar and we're just getting started. This is why you need really, to study the mob types and understand what is the best and what you're looking for, it will really, really help you get a better clear. Because once I saw it was a Transformer Festering, it was a huge help. Once I recognized that we had Illusionist Enslaved Nightmares, you see that oppressor right there? See that big old oppressor? That was made by an Illusionist Enslaved Nightmare. And we killed 2 elites because they keep feeding us. This is amazing. Everything is going great. Now you might think, wow, that's a... Ooh, as I just got tomahawked out of nothing there. You might think, wow, look at that lead. You can kill any boss here, right? Believe it or not, that's essentially the kind of lead that you have to have a chance on to kill these bosses with this spec. It's so bad for the boss, it's terrible. I get a conduit pylon. Now we have a bit of a problem here. Well, it's never a problem to spawn a conduit, but I have to figure something out here. I just spawned my 3rd pylon. No, excuse me. I spawned my 2nd pylon. And I only have a little bit of the progress bar, I'd guess that's about 25% left of the rift, to spawn another one. And I'm thinking through here, I need a pylon for the boss. If I don't get Hamlin or Saxtrus, I actually can't kill the boss without a pylon, even with this big of a lead. I cannot save the conduit for the boss, because when I nem the conduit, my conduit will kill the elite, and I cannot use area damage or the Blood-Tide Blade to kill the boss. So there's really, after I think about it, there's only one way to play here. I need to take the conduit immediately. I need to zap as close to 99% as I can, and then I need to go forward and spawn another pylon. There's 3 left, I think. Speed, power, and shield. Power would be by far the best, speed would be second best, and shield I could at least attempt to clear the boss. So after thinking about it for a bit, I'm going to get ready to just go for the conduit. I would strongly encourage you, whenever you have a major decision, do exactly as I did, as you've seen in a lot of my solo clears. Whenever I'm confronted with a big decision, I pause the game and I think about it. I get my strategy and my path forward very clear in my head of exactly what I'm going to do, and then I try to execute it. The problem is, again, I cannot save the conduit for the boss because it's just going to zap the elites. And it's better just to spawn the boss now and just start stacking Stricken than trying to get cute and spawning the conduit at 99%, zapping the elites, spawning the boss, and zapping the boss for 25% of his health. That might be a play, but I think it's a bigger time save just to stack Stricken and pray for the pylon right now. So that's it. That's what I'm going for. The best I can come up with. The thing I'm worried about is, can I spawn another pylon and at essentially 90, 98, 99%. And I need to be very careful not to go over this value. If I spawn the boss here, unless it's like Hamlin or Saxtrus, and maybe even them, it's actually a fail. So I would say out of all the top tier solo builds, this is probably the worst on the Guardian ever, which is why I've been saying Necro needs a better option for solo all the time, and I will be showing you the Poison Scythe build, which is significantly better. Alright, let's put the plan into action. We need to get to 99% and not any higher. So I found a yellow up here. I'm okay to zap it. That's another reason why I didn't take the time to gather everything up and then get the full value out of the conduit. I don't want to spawn the boss or it's a loss. Okay, I'm leaving the orbs for a moment just to make sure I don't go over. 98%. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, well, one time for the one-time shield. All right, well, we can at least attempt the boss. That was the worst of the 3 pylons we could have gotten. But they gave me a 4-corner Transformer Festering with Illusionists and Enslaved Nightmares with 3 pylons with a Condi. So it is not the time to complain. This is one of the best rifts you'll ever see, ever. So, no time to complain. We got a shield, and we got Rhyme. Rhyme is a terrible boss. It's a single target boss. He does massive damage, and this is going to be not a fun fight. So what I need to do is I need to stack Stricken for literally about 5 minutes, and then Only then, I'm going to nem the Pylon. I'm going to try to group them all on top of Rhyme. And I'm going to pray that they're either Horde or Illusionist or both. So, we're swinging the scythe, and it's going to be kind of a boring 5 minutes of swinging the scythe until we have to grab the Pylon. So let me talk to you. There's been a lot of questions I've gotten about the XP metas next season. There's been a lot of questions about the Necro. There's been a lot of questions about the Demon Hunter. So let me take a few minutes to talk to you about that while we garden Rhyme with our little weed whacker. So for the XP metas, I'm not sure what will actually be the best. Rats will be pretty good. They always will be. The Demon Hunter XP metas with the new God set should be quite good. And I think a lot of people, if they're even close to as good as the other specs for the XP metas, I think most people will be playing that. Another thing is, remember, the Witch Doctor and the Crusader got nerfed, but also the Witch Doctor and the Crusader are by far still the best trash clearers and RGKs. So there were some Witch Doctor speeds where this season where you could do like 130s in 3 minutes. That's going to come down a bit, but it's still going to be strong. So doing whatever it is this season, 125s in 3 minutes is still going to be outrageously good. A lot of people may do that. Another thing that may also be as good is Witch Doctors and Crusaders are still going to be able to do 150s. So you might just do 150s. It won't be as fast. Maybe you do them in 10 minutes, 12 minutes average, or whatever it is. But this season, toward the end of it, when we were farming 150s for experience, some days we could get close to 6 trillion XP per hour. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, just trust me, that's a lot. It's the equivalent of doing like, I don't know, 116 rats extremely efficiently, something like that. So there are a lot of options, which is good for the game, right? We need options. By the way, look, I've done 0 damage to the boss. This is actually kind of hilarious. This is why you must have a Pylon and you must have elites. You don't have any elites, you do 0 damage. So another question I get all the time is, Rax, the new God DH for solo speed farming, is it going to be better or worse than the Whirlwind Barb? I think it's going to be very close. If you want my guess as to which would be better, I would say it's probably going to be the Barb, but I think it will be very close. And if you want to change a pace, by all means, go for the Demon Hunter. At the end of the day, you should play whatever class that you want. Now, what about the fate of the Necro next season? Well, unless changes are made to the new set is essentially not usable. So I'm not going to even make a guide on it. I'll make a guide on the set when Blizzard changes the set. However, there is good news for the Necro. I showed you guys the Corpse Explosion build, and that's really fun, and it's very strong. But there's actually even, I believe, a better build that my friend SVR showed me, and it is the LOD Poison Scythe build. He cleared GR140 at 5,000 Paragon with this Poison Scythe build. So I went to try to clear it. I only opened a 125 just because I wanted to mess around with it, and I obliterated it. It wasn't hard at all. And it was way better on the boss than this nonsense, as I think I'm about to die here because Rhyme is hitting me way too hard. Let's see here. Can we survive? Rhyme's a big meanie head. Wish I could take the shield now, but I need to keep stacking Stricken. As you can see, I've been fighting him and death novaing him for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. And I've done, look how much damage I've done to him as he just effortlessly 100-0s me. And we get back up, and it's about time to take the Pylon. But I'll show you the Poison Scythe build, and that will give Necros big hope next season. And by the way, that Poison Scythe build is going to be one of the best trash clearers in the game. If Witch Doctors get nerfed further, it may be actually the best in the game. Definitely capable of clearing 150s. Anyway, here we go. Now all of a sudden, with the ads, we're actually doing some damage, as my Templar is taking 2 of the ads away from me, which I don't like. And we got extremely lucky, you guys. We named an Illusionist Elite. That's exactly what we needed. So you got to give credit to the four-corner Transformer Festering Illusionist Enslaved Nightmares with 3 Pylons, with a Conduit, with Pylon for boss, with an Illusioned Elite out of the Pylon. If I would have known that I would have had all this, I could have opened a much, much higher key and had a lot of fun with it. But hindsight is 20/20. We play with what we've got. And now that we're doing the Death Nova with all these ads around us, you can see Rime is now getting destroyed. You can see the importance of the mobs around for the area damage, and you can also see the importance of the Blood Tide Blade. And a couple more swings here, and that's going to be the end of Rime because we've got the Frailty Curse on him from swinging our Scythe. Thank you so much, guys. I do have a monk clear that I will show you as well. We're going to have guides on the multi-shot DH, on the Poison Scythe Necro, the tier list, the leveling guide, all that good stuff coming up for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I read every comment on every single video. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you.